Hi, everybody. We're shaking our heads. Welcome. Little quick breaking news. Lev Parnas has made it out of Florida. Home confinement doesn't bug a man. He is currently in New York City, joins us this morning. My man, how are you? Like drinking a New York coffee this morning.
No,
Probably never
tea,
tasted
tea,
so good.
green
Tea.
tea,
Oh, sorry.
green tea, green tea.
Little PTSD being back in New York. You're on CNN last night. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Look, I'm
Yeah.
feeling good that, overall, but I think it was interesting for everybody to watch what transpired yesterday because we got to see exactly why CNN is CNN and why MSNBC is MS Now or whatever. I mean, and that's why our community here, our family, Substack is where real independent journalism is. And I first of all want to apologize to all of you that I had to make you watch CNN yesterday. I know it was difficult. I know, I know. I can't even imagine, especially, to sit through 45 minutes or 50 minutes of that nonsense, gibberish, and back and forth.
Bro, they came for you. I was inundated when I
I
woke up
know, I
this
know.
morning. It's like, your boy Levy's all over fucking CNN. He just stole Scott Jennings' soul.
We're gonna get into Scott Jennings. I mean, yeah. So yeah, they basically prepped me, told me, look, Venezuela's the main subject.
Yeah.
We got Maria Corina Machado. She's at the White House. She's giving him the Nobel Peace Prize. Really need to. This is like, but. So I get there and I'm watching. They did a little shift. They put Ellie Honig in the first 15 minutes because they said they need to talk about the Minnesota riots.
Mhm.
I'm like, what riots? I'm like, I know there's like 50 people protesting outside of ICE. I wouldn't consider that a riot. You know what I'm saying to you?
Oh, dude,
But
they love that language though, right?
yeah,
That's ratings
yeah.
fucking clickbait. Right.
You click, yeah, exactly. So, and the sun came out, right? Close that up a little bit. Oof, that's better. Oh, so yeah, and basically, I got there. I was ready to go. I was pumped. It's interesting. I even gave Abby my book prior to going on, and I marked off the Venezuela part. To make sure there's some pictures in there, just in case Scott gets a little,
A
what I'm saying,
contract.
a contract here and there. I thought we were gonna, So here we go, and I get on there, and as they're walking me to the stage, the producers are like, "Well, the type of show you guys could interrupt, but don't really interrupt. Let's have a good, decent conversation." And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you like? Let's get in there. I'm getting ready to get in the cage, right? So I get in there, we sit down, we're all, and I'm watching everybody's lovey dovey. I'm saying to you, I'm the only one that's not lovey dovey, that doesn't understand I'm sitting there on my own. Scott's there, that's what I'm saying to you. Like, this guy acts like he walks around CNN like he's a celebrity, like he
Yeah, I was
owns the
gonna say
place,
he probably
like
has
he,
like a fucking enormous walking ego. Like,
oh, no.
how you doing? Probably didn't even look at you ahead of the
Oh, he
panel.
ran away. He ran away. I'll tell you. No, he didn't. No, he ain't gonna fucking play egos with me. Trust me, bro. I would have body slammed him right into the wall if he would have walked by me like that. There's no way. I came prepared. Trust me when I tell you. I came. Especially so. We get in there and we start talking. They continue talking about Minnesota. They continue talking about Minnesota. And I'm like, all right, what do you keep regurgitating? Let's get into Venezuela. Let's get into, what's happening in Trump. Let's talk about insurrection, but let's talk about what's going on in the White House, not your opinions. So all of a sudden, these guys get into screaming matches. They start screaming at each other about, insurrections going back to 100 years laws. This girl, Brianna, next to me starts talking about how America, controls the whole world
Yeah,
hemisphere.
every
Like
country exists at
every country.
America's pleasure.
I'm sitting there. I'm thinking, where am I? Am I like in the Twilight Zone?
You
What is
started
going on
laughing.
here?
Was that
I was
Brianna
cracking.
Goladriga? Was that who that was?
No, it's not. No,
A different
Brianna.
Brianna? Yeah.
I get your last.
Yeah, when she said that, I heard you start laughing. And then
I
the guy
think.
across from you that was sitting next to Jennings started laughing. And Jennings is like, yo, that's right. Everybody serves at our fucking pleasure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you just couldn't stop laughing at it. You're like, you
Dude,
got to be fucking kidding.
I tell you honestly, I was cracking. I was trying to be, polite, trying to be, I knew we were on television. So I'm trying to be like, it's halfway like normal. Like, I don't want to get a little aggressive there because, so I'm watching this whole thing play out. And then finally, here we go. What's it called? Venezuela comes in. And the last 5, 10 minutes, they're about to talk about Venezuela. So, they give me the spiel, the mic. I start talking about Venezuela. As I'm talking, I'm watching Jennings start rolling his eyes.
He did it to you the whole fucking hour, dude. He's
Listen,
like,
so what I was gonna save it when we got into it, but what they didn't know is that I got off the phone with some of my sources right before I got in there, and I got a little birdie tweet telling me that Jennings is thinking about going taking Levitt's job when she goes on maternity leave. And I'm saying,
press
you
sec?
press secretary, yeah. So here we go. And he's go there. I'm like, Scott, I know you're upset because I know you're auditioning here for the new press secretary job. You're doing a good job. I mean,
He
between
didn't
you
like
and
that.
he flipped. Listen to me. So he gets pissed off. The cameras go off, right? And this I'm trying to find this because I think it was on air. If anybody saw it, find it. If not, I'm gonna try to see if because I think they cut off. So as this segment clips, we go like as we're going commercial, he turns around, he goes, I can't, I've never sat next to a criminal, something like that, like that. Something.
Referring
So
to you because he's sitting
yeah,
across from
obviously
you.
to me,
Yeah,
he's sitting next to
C-Mac.
a criminal, right? So the guy is sitting next to me. I forgot his name. I forgot his name. What was his name? Hold on a second.
Doesn't matter, dude. It was just you. You were the only
Uh,
person on that show last night.
uh, Charles Blow. Charles Blow. So Charles,
Okay.
yeah. So Charles is sitting next to me, and he goes, "Whoa, what just happened?" Like he's like, "What did you just say?" Right? And Abby's like, her eyes like lit up, right? Like everybody's standing there, and I come there, I go, "Folks, I go, please, and don't worry about it." I said, "Scott just told you the real truth. He's probably never met Donald Trump because he's never sat next to a criminal before." So Scott, I understand that. I said, if you want, I'll introduce you to the president next time we're around. Dude, he got so pissed off. He like after the whole show was over, he stormed out of there. He was like, me and him had no word. Like I was like abusing him offline. Like you have no idea. And I'm just getting started because after yesterday, Scott is he's on my radar right
Is
now.
he on your
So,
shit list? Please
oh
tell me
yeah,
Scott
oh yeah,
Jennings on
oh
Lev
yeah,
Parnas' shit list,
oh
dude. He's
yeah,
on
oh yeah,
all of America's shit list.
oh
That
yeah.
guy is such a duplicitous fucking monkey. It is hard to watch. And I watched him roll his eyes at you last night, take umbrage with you being a better citizen than almost everybody on the fucking panel. And I had to wonder as I'm watching this, and I'm sitting next to my partner, and I'm like, hey, get a load of this. Okay, look at this. She goes, "Is that your friend?" I go, yeah. She goes back to reading. She's like, so anyway, I'm like, hey, he just stole Scott Jennings' soul there. And she's like, that guy seems like a nerd. I'm like,
He is.
yeah.
Listen,
What
listen
was
to me.
he like between takes? Would he look at you? Would you guys talk at all?
No, no, that's what I'm saying to you. Like I'm telling you, no,
Oh,
we
fucking
were. Yeah,
scared.
he wouldn't even pick up. As soon as the takes were down, he was down there on the phone texting probably the Rudy Giuliani or the White House or somebody try and get like some shit, but he couldn't. Didn't work because there's nothing he could get. The best part was when we finally got into Venezuela, and
Yeah.
I explained to them how about Delcy and this is the interesting part. I told them so much shit there, and nobody asked me a follow up question. Think about that. Nobody even said, "Holy shit, love!" Like Harry
You're
Sargent,
right.
or like Dulcie, or like this happened in 2019, or like you guys. So you're saying this? Nobody even asked a question. Instead, they went to Scott Jennings, but that was hilarious. Also, she goes to Scott. So Scott, what do you think about that? He goes, "Well, Dulcie could be worse than Maduro."
What a fuck. Scott Jennings is a fuck. And you stole his fucking soul
No, he
yesterday.
was.
And
Yeah, he was pissed. He was pissed.
but you know what I wonder too, like at the end of it, I picture a guy like that after you run a show for a fucking solid hour. And here's the other thing. He's probably never done a panel with someone like you.
Oh
right?
no, no.
Someone like you who's not a talking head, someone like you who was in those rooms, who can easily disprove all of his fucking Trump boot licking bullshit. And I watched you do it time after time after time again. Educated, smart, measured, easy conversation. And I watched him roll his eyes. And the funny part was fucking CNN. Every time you would say something, like when you did the piece, and I posted it today, everybody should look at when you're like, and Scott doesn't like what I just said because he's auditioning to be the next press secretary. He goes like this. like like a child. Like he was like, oh, but that's who Scott fucking Jennings is, right?
He
That
is.
guy
He
is
is.
afraid of his own shadow, and he's in the comfort of being in a room full of people who have to listen to him because they have to balance the conversation. And then all of a sudden, a fucking real OG shows up, and he, like Trump, completely fucking folded in your presence, dude.
Oh yeah,
Folded.
he folded, and the other thing I realized what I saw is it's not the fact that they're giving him not only a platform, but they allow him to run the show. They allow him. They basically, it's not. It's one thing, and this is what really. I saw a little insight that pissed me off is
Yeah, tell me.
it's not the fact that he was there to give an objective view. You know what I'm saying to you? He
Yeah.
was there. He runs the show. I mean,
Hmm.
like he takes over. He gets the most airtime. They go to him, like and I even saw a couple of times where I did want to get into with him and cut him off. I was cut off. I mean, I saw the camera flip to him, and I saw like nobody even. I would have had to like literally just start screaming and getting into one of those, which I wasn't planning on doing. I wasn't going to stoop to their level and start
Hmm.
screaming, and so. But I noticed that it wasn't like there was no it was a round table, but it wasn't a conversation. I mean, like, because if you really understand, like, just think about it. Here you have Scott Jennings, and then all of a sudden you have actually a person that went to prison for Donald Trump. You have a person here, so Scott. So the conversation should be around Scott debunking whatever I'm saying about Trump. I mean, basically, right? I mean, but instead it was narrowed around like again a subject that had not a partisan that had a partisan conversation. It was like
Always.
they weren't trying to get down to the truth or the facts and say, well, listen, like this is not like there should not be ICE in Minnesota. Instead, they were trying to explain, well, yeah. ICE is good. They could do it like this. Well, yes, the Democrats, the governor could tone down his rhetoric.
Yeah.
I mean, no bullshit. What do you mean the governor toned down their rhetoric? See, that's what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah.
The governor? Yeah, how are we even talking about the governor's rhetoric when you guys are sending in 3,000 troops into a place that has 500 officers? Just
Hmm.
think about it. There's 3,000 troops in Minnesota. They have 500 officers. They've overtaken the state. They're killing people, executing off the street, grabbing other people off the street, doing all that. I tried to. What really pissed me off?
Mm.
Is when they were talking about that American rights, I was trying to get in a question, and nobody would even Abby, none of them. They were just talking over me. I was like, "Listen, you're talking about what's happening, and they were trying to say about that the ICE agents were attacked by a Venezuelan with
With a
with a
with a
broom,
shovel, with a
with a shovel,
broomstick.
with a
Yeah.
broom. I mean, I was like
Didn't
listening to
happen.
so, and he's making such a big deal about this. Like this is like the main thing. Like I'm like, look, listen, dude, why aren't we talking this way? I was trying to get up, but they wouldn't let me. About the 17-year-old American citizen young boy that got picked up off the street, got beat, tortured, beat up by the ICE, and then thrown out of the car 4 hours later somewhere in the middle of the street. I said, an American citizen. I said, you're not talking about that. You're not talking about pay. I mean, they were not talking about. They were. It wasn't a. It was. It was more like just a screaming man. I was surprised. I'll tell you. Yeah, Brianna
Yeah.
Lehman is Lehman. That's her name. Thank you, Debbie. Brianna Lehman is her name. So yeah. So
Yeah,
this.
whatever. She's a fuck too. Brain
Well,
dead,
she.
mega
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah, yeah.
All of them are.
I
But,
mean,
but you bring up a good point. Is that you can do a panel with any one of those people. They never do an honest panel. They never do
no,
an
no,
honest
no.
conversation. It's never about point or counterpoint. All they do is here's the subject. Okay, I'll take that subject and use this as an opportunity to endear myself to a fucking party of one. That is what Scott Jennings did yesterday when he started to try to justify ICE. You know, I found it very fucking telling when you talked about your time growing up in the old Soviet Union and then leaving to come back to America, knowing what a police state was like, coming back to Russia and going, oh my God, I cannot believe people that live like this. And then you said, that's what happens and that is what's going on in fucking Minnesota. That's what these ICE agents are. That's when you said Scott Jennings might not like that. And as you're comparing your time in the USSR, living under the thumb of a communist, dictatorial, fascist, beat your fucking head in regime, Scott Jennings rolls his eyes, apparently completely void of any video that he's seen of any one of those 4,000, not 3,000, 4,000 ICE officers beating protesters in the amount of 50 to 60 people. He has never seen any of those fucking videos. Is that what he was trying to tell you yesterday? Or is he just taking that conversation and then moving it in a different direction to tell Donald Trump, listen, I really want to be the next press secretary when Caroline Levitt births the next spawn of MAGA Satan?
Oh no, listen, people like Scott, like Brianna, like those type of people, they live in such a isolated bubble that you know
Yeah.
what when you know the only way reality kicks them in the ass is when Scott Jennings gets pulled over and is asked for papers, and when
Hmm.
Scott Jennings all of a sudden might not have his passport on him and is all of a sudden taken in and tortured for 4 hours and then thrown out in the street somewhere in the middle of a road in the middle of nowhere, or where you know what I'm saying to you, or where
Hmm.
when that happens, or maybe not to him, or maybe to a girlfriend he might meet or a future wife. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, I mean, look at the vice. Just think about the shit they're talking about, and then look at the vice president. You know what I'm saying to you?
Hmm.
Like that could happen to his kids. That could happen to his wife. Like,
Hmm.
like what would happen if his kids go out on the street? Yeah, they got Secret Service, so he's not thinking about that. These people don't think about it, but until it happens to them. When it happens to them, when they realize that is when they all of a sudden say, until then, they don't care. They don't care. They could watch a million of these. It doesn't bother them. It doesn't bother. They don't look, and that's the whole thing. They don't look at people like human beings. They look
Hmm.
at people as objects, and that's the
Marks.
scary part. Mark. So that's why I talk about. I say, we gotta get back to humanity,
Hmm.
because we got to get back to where we all realize that the first thing that makes us an incredible country is that we have a humanity, empathy. We are human beings first. We're allowing that, and again, I keep talking about that minority of voices, that white supremacist Christian nationalist movement that
Hmm.
Trump tapped into, to allow to be able, because that's their talking points. If you
Hmm.
take a look at what Brianna was talking about, she's talking about us controlling the whole world, the whole country. I mean, these are literally white national Christian nationalist talking points from 1933. I mean,
Hmm.
I mean, if you, I mean, there's no other way to do it. And then you got Scott Jennings saying, rah, 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 yeah, let's go. This is how we want to do it. Like, if you got a broom in your hand, I mean, they can't even answer a simple question. They're talking about a person that's walking down the street, and all of a sudden they stop him and ask him for his papers. And Scott's okay with it. Like, why
Hmm.
not? Why not?
Because he doesn't give a fuck about human life. That's a mega trait. It's a
because
characteristic.
he's
It's a principle.
because he's not black, he's not
Yep.
brown, because
Hmm.
he's not he fits the perfect role. He's that, what I'm saying to you. So
Hmm.
that's why he sits there and talk. But the interesting part, they is how you do have certain people in mega that are still supporting that movement, that are black, brown, have undocumented relatives. I mean, a lot of these people in mega have undocumented employees. You know what I'm saying to you? Workers, nannies, and all of that, and
I believe
they're
Trump
still,
staffs his golf courses and hotels exclusively with migrant workers so he can pay
yeah.
them
With
much less.
so
Yeah. Temporary
he
foreign worker program. Yeah.
yeah, he was using that. He used he used that special program for that's supposed to be for, like, specialty people to get visas, to get
Oh, the
bus
B1.
boys. The
Yeah.
B1, yeah, that's what Trump. He used that B1 like nobody else, to get bus
He
boys
used to
and
get
cleaning. I mean,
genius busboys to work at Trump fucking Tower.
that's what I'm saying to you.
And the hypocrisy is one thing on behalf of Donald Trump, and anybody that has the ability to reason critically or is self-aware watches or watched you last night with Scott Jennings on CNN during Abby Phillips' broadcast. You laughed at him. Like you literally,
I
and the
said,
whole panel laughed at him, but you were like in disbelief. And I know you've watched it on television. Is that the kind of cognitive dissonance that exists? You're a MAGA OG in people because they believe it, or is Scott Jennings well aware of the boots that he's licking and he knows why he's doing it? Like, is he a real fucking believer? Is he a Trumper? Or is he just a guy who knows what side of the fucking MAGA bread the butter's on?
yeah, Scott is not an OG. Scott's not the hardcore mega. That's the interesting part. Scott, that's the interest. Scott's a boot liquor. He's playing the role. You know, tomorrow, as soon as I promise you, the second Trump starts going down, you'll see Scott jumping on a different Republican or a different talk about how Trump was destroying the movement and talking shit. And by the way, Scott's from Kentucky. I have a lot of friends in Kentucky, so I'm just getting started with Scott. So I'm just saying to you, a lot of friends in Kentucky. So Scott, I just want to say to you, Scott Jennings, it's on, my brother, because I'm gonna have some fun with you. This is just the video. So I'm gonna also I'm gonna plan some stuff out. I want to challenge Scott to a real debate. You know, what I'm
Hmm.
saying to you,
Hmm.
let's do it on CNN or on Substack or wherever you want to do it, but not where they cut out. You know, where we could actually pick two, three subjects like Venezuela, like the Trump White House, insurrection, like Trump staying in office or leaving office, or the behind the scene. I mean, like
The
pick,
Epstein files, the ongoing
the
cover up
Epstein
of all the
files. Yes, please. Yeah, yeah,
pedophilia.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Pick your three subjects and let's have a panel, and then we'll show the real world who Scott Jennings is. I will make him crawl back into the hole he is because his talking points. Let me just put it this way: where he went to school to learn his talking points, I was the professor there teaching. So he just has to understand that. You know what I'm saying to you? I have to, before there was a Scott Jennings discussing mega, we built mega. So, not that I'm proud of it, but, Scott Jennings has no idea, and it's going to get interesting because I think enough is enough with also the bullshit media giving them the spotlight. Let's give him a word. No, don't give him a word. If they have something proper to say, yeah, give them a word. If they're saying they're spewing propaganda, if they're spewing lies, if they're spewing nonsense, why are you giving them the time? Why are you giving them the platform? I do not understand that. I can't. I'm sorry. If unless again you don't want to be considered as news and you want to be considered like a daytime Jerry Springer show. If this was a talk show like Montel Williams or whatever these Wendy or if this was a talk show, great. Let's come on and let's just have a shit show, scream at each other, throw some bottles at each other. You know what I mean? Do whatever you
Yeah.
want to do.
That's
But
what
if
it,
you,
dude. That's what it felt like at times, especially
I
about
swear to you,
halfway,
I
three
also,
quarters of the way through. And I'm like,
I'm
I gotta fucking turn this down. These
I
guys are
was
just
really
fucking
and
loudmouths.
and 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 that's why I want to say again for all of you that are joining, guys. For those of you joining are late, that you'll rewatch this. We're gonna repost this, but I want to say, I want to pretty much end how we started off. I want to apologize to each and every one of you that you had to suffer through an hour of watching CNN. But I think it was a good lesson.
It was worth it. It was worth it,
I
baby.
think it
You were
was
there.
worth it. I think it was worth it. We got to see at least we got a couple of shots in.
Hmm.
Which today is actually it's going pretty viral on X. Everybody's putting that thing on X today, asking Scott is he going to be the next uh, speaker? What's it called?
Yeah, the press secretary.
Press
Yeah.
secretary. Everybody's asking Scott, is he going to be the next press secretary? So, I mean,
What a
look,
cuck, too. What a cuck. Like just spending the last several months auditioning for any job he can get with America's rapist, pedophile, felon in chief. Like just a fucking miserable bootlicker. And watching you out him last night, and you don't have to apologize to anybody because we all watched it willingly. Because America's greatest whistleblower and right fighter and American hero, Lev Parnas, reset the fucking clock.
uh,
There you go, Scott
I
Jennings.
love you guys.
Just a quick, just a quick invite, Scott. And folks, if you could send this to Scott too, clip it
Yeah.
if you want, do whatever you want with it. Send this last little segment to Scott. Scott, school's in session. MAGA headmaster Lev Parnas has invited you to class and you're fucking late. You better show up because if not, not only is it going to be difficult for you to hide from him on our screens, even in Kentucky, it'll be hard to outrun the man. So make sure you ante up and get in touch with Lev. Everybody, Lev remembers Lev Partis. Hit that Chiron at the top. Give him a real quick follow and a sub, please. Paid subs get this conversation to the top of the list. If you can pay to subscribe, absolutely wonderful. We're building a community of beautiful people here, and you guys have never let us down. Lev is constantly number one or two in world politics because he stands on his fucking business like he did on CNN last night. And boy, oh boy, buddy, I'm glad I got a chance to catch up with you today about it. And just from a friend to a friend, well, fucking done, my man.
I love you, bro. I really appreciate it. And I'm running out of the hotel right now, but I said, Dean, me and you gotta do it because nobody does it like Dean Blundell. So make sure you give him a follow, a subscribe. Folks, we're just getting started. As I told you, this year is about action. We're not no more reaction, and there's a lot more coming.
Yesterday was Lev's opening volley, ladies and gentlemen.
We're just getting started. So I want to thank each and every one of you for all the support, for all the love, for all the incredible messages. I read them, I watch them all. I apologize, I can't respond to everyone, but I see you and I know who you are, and much love. I also want to say for the paid subscribers, we did a special yesterday at the Green Room. I didn't get a chance to put it out yet. For those of you that were with me, thank you. Those that didn't get a chance to see it, I will be sending it out later today. That's just for all you paid subscribers that didn't get a chance to be with us there. Otherwise, just continue doing what you're doing. Keep spreading the messages. Keep putting it. That's the number one thing, because as you could see, when they see the truth, when they get confronted with the facts, they run. They hide, they deflect, and
I
that is
get
why
angry. Like he got
they get angry,
yesterday.
and they get angry, and that's why I promise you, we're gonna keep bringing the truth. We're gonna keep bringing the facts, and we're not gonna let them get away with it. And and also, thank you, Dean, for reminding me. But we have also a lot of stuff because today's Friday, another week has passed, and again, nothing with the Epstein files. And tomorrow, make sure you join me and Dean for coffee, tea with Lev and Dean, and we're gonna talk a lot about the Epstein files. We're going to talk a lot about how we're going to take our country back, because it's not about just reporting the news. It's not just about talking about what's happening. Tomorrow, we're also going to talk about some of the things we're doing to take our country back, because it's time, folks. Enough is enough. Love you guys. Thank you. I got to run. Dean, I'll see you. I will see you guys later today.
Yeah, text me when you land, and we'll see if we can get wheels up for a quick live with you. Okay.
Okay, you got it, brother. Take care,
Okay, pal.
guys.
Take care. Lev Parnas, ladies and gentlemen. Lev Remembers is the name of his Substack. Please go and give him a subscription. If you missed him on CNN last night, you can catch it in the Daily Dean newsletter, which is at deanblundell.substack.com. I posted the video there along with the 5 biggest major breaking news stories that every democracy lover needs to be aware of, and that newsletter is absolutely free of charge. Just become a subscriber, deanblundell.substack.com. Thanks to Lev for joining us. Thanks to CNN for having him on last night. He was in the wilderness of have-nots for a long time and literally spent the last year of his life putting his fucking money where democracy is for the American people. And what I saw last night with Lev on CNN was him representing 300 million people, their views, their kindness, their humanity, and their absolute abject sickness to the fucking sycophants and gaslighters like that puke, that fucking incel puke, Scott Jennings. And folks, please send this to Scott. Scott. There's going to be a time when this fucking MAGA merry-go-round comes to a screeching halt that you're going to sit there with your dick in your hand, your tiny little MAGA dick. And you're going to look for friends, and you alienate them with your eye rolls. You alienate everybody else with your gaslighting, your bullshit, and your sycophantic talking points, trying to justify the beatings, the murder, and what looks to be sexual assault in a porta-john by at least one officer in Minneapolis. We're going to get you too. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you at 3 o'clock for the 5 stack with Mr. Zev Shalev. Make sure you hit that Chiron at the top. Give us a sub if you can. Please share this. And again, 25% off annual subscriptions right now. Unlimited access at deanblundell.substack.com. Lock in that price forever. Become a founding member, just monthly. Doesn't matter. We just want to continue to build the resistance. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks to Lev. Have a great day. We'll see you at 3 o'clock, my very dear friends.